Great. So we're going to do a really flowy class today. Lots of movement, lots of breath work, just lots of moving the energy around, getting the body moving, and just really waking up. We want to do a nice sort of full body practice today. So we're going to start cross-legged, and we're going to just do a little breathing practice before moving into our warm-up, and then moving on to our practice. So starting with the cross legs in whatever position is good for you, whether you want to bring the heels in or you want to just cross the legs or go into a half lotus, whatever feels good. We're just going to roll the shoulders back and down, and we're just going to sit up nice and tall. The hands can be on the knees, either up or down as well. And we're just going to take a few breaths here, just natural breaths, just to notice the quality of our breathing. Notice if your breath is shallow or deep, whether you're breathing in the chest area or the ribs or the belly. Tuning into your sense of sound and listening to anything you can hear, any little whirring noises or anything outside or anything anyone else in the house is doing, allowing that to be a part of your practice. Closing off the eyes if you haven't already, and just scanning over the body, noticing any tension you're feeling anywhere, maybe in the shoulders, maybe in the neck. Okay, we're going to take some deep breaths, so breathing in through the area of the tummy. Big sighs out, either through the mouth or through the nose. Feeling the whole tummy contract when you're breathing out, so that you're getting a really full breath out. Breathing in and fully exhaling. Notice we can extend that exhalation for a couple more counts. Breathing in and out. Breath in and out. Let's do 3 more of those, relaxing the shoulders a little bit more, a little bit more each time we're breathing out. Good. And now just allowing your breathing to settle, find its natural rhythm. Just being aware of that, keeping the attention to the breath. Good. Gently and slowly open the eyes. Okay. So let's start with some little neck rolls. So we're going to take the head over to the right, and then bring the chin down to chest, over to the left, and back. Still breathing with mindful breaths. Just noticing the area on the back of the neck. If you want to, you could even bring the hand onto the back of the neck, just so that you can connect to the area that we're stretching. It always helps to use our sense of touch when we're stretching to bring awareness back. Okay, let's interlock the fingers, taking that onto the crown of the head, and gently we can bring a little rounding to the spine here. I'll just turn to the side, rounding of the spine, not placing much weight on the head at all here, just relaxing into it, getting that stretch all the way through the shoulder blades, maybe even further than that. And gently sitting up nice and tall. And then relaxing the hands onto the knees. We're going to inhale, take the head up to the sky, just feeling a little stretch on the front of the neck. Deep breaths here. Notice any sensations. Maybe you can feel the stretch on the back of the neck, or if you've got tension there, maybe you can notice that now. Good, and gently bringing the head back to neutral. Okay, so we're going to stretch out the side body a little bit here. So we're going to lean one arm down to the mat, and we're going to reach the other arm up nice and straight. Holding it here, make sure that we're not collapsing into the shoulder here. So we've got, if you can reach the arm at a nice 90-degree angle, if you're open enough in the side body. If not, then just lifting the elbow off the ground, reaching the arm up. If it's comfortable on the neck, looking up towards the hand. If it's not, just keeping the neck neutral. And now noticing if we move the arm over even more, how that stretch gets even more intensified. Just try not to rounding in the or moving forward in the body. So keeping the body nice and upright, the chest lifted. Reaching through that middle finger. And come back to center. Let's do the same on the other side. If we can, getting the arm or the elbow down on the ground, no problem if we can't. Keeping the chest nice and lifted, reaching the arm up in a straight line. Active through the fingers, we're stretching the fingers. Let's take a breath in here. It might feel slightly constricted. And then move that arm overhead, keeping the arm nice and straight. Notice that stretch on the side body. Maybe all the way down to the hip joint. Good, keep reaching, don't relax when we're here, keep stretching through the arm. And we'll gently come back to the center. Good. Okay, let's take some shoulder rolls back, just waking up the shoulders. Lovely. And then forwards. Good, couple more. Lovely. Okay, let's interlock the hands behind the body, roll the shoulders back and down, and lifting the arms up behind us. So we're going to create a really nice heart opener here, chest opener. Trying to sit up nice and tall. Try not to arch the back too much. We can stop that by just engaging the tummy muscles, the lower abdominal muscles. This is really good for swooping shoulders, just opening out the chest. You notice your breathing is a little bit harder here, so just try and take a slow breath here. And gently release. Good. And we're going to come into some seated cat-cows. So inhale, pushing the chest forward, leaning forward. And then exhale, rounding. Nice. Good. Inhale, moving forward. And exhale, back. Inhale, moving forwards. Look up if that's comfortable. Exhale, rounding, moving back, chin to chest. Inhale forwards. And exhale back. Okay, we're going to come back to neutral. We're going to introduce a little stack logs here on the legs so that we can stretch out the hips a little bit more here. So with one leg crossed on the bottom as we usually would, we're just going to stack the other leg on top. So we've got the knee directly over one foot, and on the top leg, the foot is directly over the knee. So they are just completely parallel to each other. And we're going to do the same thing again. So hands on the knees, inhale, moving forwards, trying to lean really into it as far forward as you can, and you'll really notice that on the hip joint, maybe in the glutes. Exhale, moving back. You'll notice you can't go so far back here. Inhale, moving forwards, really leaning into it, shoulders pressed down. Exhale, round, chin to chest. Couple more. Inhale, lean forwards. Exhale, round. Inhale, forwards. And exhale, round. Good. Okay, we're going to cross the legs the other way. So back to neutral. Crossing one leg on the bottom and stacking the other leg on top. Just making sure that the knee is over one foot and foot is over one knee. Same thing again, so 4 cat-cows here. Inhale, leaning forwards. Lean, lean, lean. Exhale, round. Okay, 3 more. Close off the eyes, do it at your pace. One more. Good, back to neutral. And we're going to straighten the legs out now in front. Straighten the legs, engage the feet, so we're flexing through the feet. Just bringing the hands down by the side of the body, and we're just going to tap the legs up and down. Let's wake up the leg muscles a bit here. Bouncing the legs up and down, up and down. And we're just going to come into some breathing with pointing and flexing the feet. So we're going to inhale and exhale, point the toes. Engage the core here so that you can sit up nice and tall. Inhale, flex the feet. Exhale, point. Inhale, flex. Exhale, point. Inhale, flex. Exhale, point. You might notice the quad muscles are working here. Inhale, point. Exhale, inhale, flex, exhale, point. Inhale, flex. Exhale, point. Good. Okay, we're going to bring the feet into the body now, into butterfly pose. Soles of the feet touching. And holding up the ankles here, let's just bounce the feet up and down, up and down. Good. And then we're going to bring those in a little bit closer. So bring them in a little bit tighter to the body. Notice the inner groin is waking up, shoulders back and down. Really sitting up nice and tall, not arching the back. We're engaging the core so we get a nice straight long back. Good. Just holding it here for 3 breaths. Trying to get a little bit taller each time. Good. Okay, lovely. We're going to move now into tabletop position. So if you want to, you can cross the legs and then come up onto the knees, and then we can just come into a little tabletop position. And from here, we're going to come into tiger pose. So for that, we need the knees under the hips, release the feet behind, and we want the wrists underneath the shoulders. So we're going to come into a little balancing pose with this tiger pose. So we're going to take the left leg behind, out straight. Notice the glutes turn on here. And we're going to take the right arm forward. So we want the body in a nice long line here. Hold, taking deep breaths. Strong through that left hand. With the left foot, you can either point or flex the foot. One more breath. and release. Good. Okay, same thing the other side. So we'll take the right leg behind. Make sure we keep the hips nice and square. We don't want to be rotating the hips out. So hips nice and square, strong through that right hand, and left arm comes nice and straight as well. 3 breaths. And gently release. Okay, and let's stretch the arms forward here. Let's come into extended puppy pose. So reaching the arms forward and dropping the chest down to the ground as close as we can. Feel the shoulders stretching, around the pectoral muscle stretching. You can rest the forehead down on the mat. Let's take 3 breaths. Keep reaching the arms forward, very active here. One more breath. Good. Okay, let's walk the hands back towards the body. Let's curl the toes under behind, sitting back onto the heels, stretching out the feet a little bit here. Good, just relax the shoulders. Hands can be on the knees if you want, or on the thighs. And now we're going to draw the knees into the chest, stretching out the calves, the Achilles muscles here. You can take a little rocking motion, so up onto the fingertips in front, just using the hands and the arms to control the stretch in the calves and the Achilles muscles, just waking up all the muscles here. Keep the head neutral, no strain or tension in the neck. Good. And then let's relax the head. And we're going to ragdoll up to standing. So straightening the legs and then slowly unfolding the body, coming all the way up. Nice and tall. Let's come to the top of the mat. So this is our more flowy part of our practice. So to the top of the mat, bringing the feet together. We're going to practice 3 Hatha Sun salutations. So bringing the palms together at the heart, shoulders back and down, engaging the core here. Good. Let's just take a breath in and out. Good. Inhale, reach the arms up, looking up to the sky, feeling a stretch in the tummy. Exhale, folding forwards. Bend the knees so that the tummy is connecting with the thighs. Inhale, take the right leg behind, reaching back as far as we can and dropping the knee down. Release the foot. Inhale, Ashvasanchalasana, looking up to the sky, just feeling the hips stretching out here. Exhale, let's move it back into our downward facing dog. So pushing that left foot behind, reaching back, downward facing dog. Stay here for 3 breaths. Pedaling out the feet, really pushing through the fingertips. Bring a bend to the knees if you need to. Point the tailbone up to the sky. Good. Okay, let's take a big breath in all together. And exhale, bring that right foot forward between the hands. Drop the left knee down to the ground. Inhale, looking up to the sky. Exhale, moving back into our forward fold, taking the left foot forward to meet the front. Forward fold. Inhale, coming up all the way to standing, gently leaning back. Exhale, hands to heart. Take a breath in and out. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, left leg goes back. Drop the knee down. Looking up to the sky, inhale here. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pedaling out for 3 breaths. If this is too much, come into child's pose. 1 more breath. Good. Inhale, the left foot goes forward between the hands. Drop the right knee down, looking up. And exhale, forward fold, bringing that back leg forward to the top of the mat. Inhale, reaching up to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Good. Another breath in and out here. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, right leg goes back. Release the foot, looking up. Exhale, push back to downward facing dog. Or child's pose, your way. Really point the tailbone up to the sky. Point, point, point. We can generously bend the knees and then straighten. Bend the knees, coming down nice and low, and straighten in our downward facing dog. Let's do that once more. Bending the knees, and then straighten. Good. Take a breath in. Exhale, right foot between the hands. Drop the left knee down. Look up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. And exhale, hands to heart. Good. Left side again, breath in and out. You'll feel really nice and warm in the body now. Inhale, reach the arms. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, take the left leg behind. Release the foot. Look up. And exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Let's bend the knees. Inhale. Exhale, straighten the legs. Inhale, bend the knees. Lovely. Looking really nice, everybody. Exhale, straighten. Good. Once more. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, straighten. Let's bring that left foot forward between the hands. Good. Release the right foot. Look up to the sky. Inhale here. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reaching the arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart. Good. We're going to do this once more on each side. Breath in and out here. Inhale, reach the arms. Exhale, fold. Inhale, right leg goes behind. Exhale, looking up to the sky. Inhale here. And exhale, downward facing dog. Bending the knees. Inhale. Exhale, straighten. Really getting some deep breaths out through the mouth now. Inhale here. Bend the knees. Exhale, straighten. One more. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Inhale. Exhale, right foot goes forward. Drop the left knee down. Look up to the sky. Inhale here. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, raise the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. Good. Once more on the left side. In and exhale here. Inhale, reach the arms. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, left leg goes behind. Drop the knee and foot, look up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, 3 breaths, bending the knees, inhale. See if you can just about get the knees to touch the ground. Exhale and straighten. 2 more. Inhale, bend, bend, bend. Feel the quads bend. Exhale, straighten. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale, straighten the legs. Take a breath in. Exhale. Left foot comes forward between the hands. Drop the right knee and foot down. Look up. Inhale here. Exhale, forward fold. We're going to stay where we are in our forward fold. Let's bring the hands onto the back of the calves, shoulders back and down. We're going to take 3 breaths. We're going to straighten the legs a little bit more each time we're breathing out to work the hamstrings. So take a breath in. Exhale, straighten the legs, keeping the weight forward in the feet. Inhale, you can ease off a little bit here. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Okay, we're going to inhale, take the arms all the way up to the sky, reaching up. Really reach, 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 finding that extra lift in the area of the ribs. And exhale, hands to heart. Good. Okay, keeping the hands at the heart. Close off the eyes for a moment, just notice your breath. Maybe like me, you can really feel your heart beating, aliveness in the chest. Just take some deep breaths here, standing. Couple more breaths, just allowing the body to slow down a bit. Good. And gently open the eyes again. Okay, let's come sideways on our mats now. We're going to come with a nice wide stance with the feet parallel to each other. Good. Okay, so let's take the hands on the hips first of all. Let's inhale, standing up nice and tall, shoulders back. Exhale, lean forward. We're just going to lean halfway forward, so we're not going to take the hands down to the ground yet. Keep the weight forwards in the feet, unless you feel unsteady here and really need to bring the hands down to the ground. Hold it here. Just notice the hamstrings awaken. Good. Gently bend the knees, come up straight again, nice and tall. Good. This time we're going to interlock the hands behind the back, shoulders really pressing down and back, open chest. Let's take a big breath in here. And exhale, fold forwards, this time taking the arms back behind the head. Doesn't matter if you don't lean too far forward, as long as you can feel the stretch in the shoulders, around the pectoral muscles. Bend the knees if you've got too much going on behind the knees, little tension there. Good. And bend the knees, come all the way back up to standing. Good. Okay, we're going to inhale this time, take the arms up. And then we're going to swan dive it forward. Exhale, swan dive forward, hands come down to the ground. Flat palms on the ground. Let's take the left hand to the center between the feet. Inhale, sweep the right arm up, nice and in a straight line. Exhale, release the hand. Right hand in the center between the feet. Inhale, sweep the left arm up. Nice straight line looking up to the hand. Exhale, release. Now we're going to walk the hands over to the right foot. Again, bring a generous bend to the knees if it's too much on the knees. And just relaxing the head wherever it falls. Try to release any tension in the head. Forward folding positions, calming for the mind. Good. Walk the hands back to the center and then over to the left. To the left foot, or maybe just near the left foot, wherever feels good. Bend the knees if you need to. Relax the head, relax the neck. And back to center. Okay, let's just bring the feet a little bit closer, just wider than hip width, toes pointing out. Send the hips down to the ground, coming into yogi squat here. Sitting down here, opening out the knees with the elbows. And sitting up nice and tall. Looking really good, everybody. Lovely, really nice. Okay, let's just take a couple of breaths here. Again, you might feel the heart rate's gone up again. So just slowing the heart rate. One more breath. Good, okay. Let's take the left hand down to the ground and let's inhale, take the right arm up to the sky. Good. Exhale, release, right hand on the ground. Inhale, left arm comes up. Little gentle spinal twist. Exhale, release. We'll do that once more on each side. Inhale, right arm goes up. Exhale, release. Left arm goes up. Exhale, release. Good. Let's sit back down onto the mat. And let's straighten the legs out again here. And we'll just have some little taps. So the legs up and down, up and down. Good, okay. We're going to come into laying down on the mat now. We're not in Shavasana yet. So laying the back down. And we're going to come into a little glute strengthening, some bridge pose. So we want the feet to be as far back as we can to the bum, keeping the feet facing forwards and keeping the feet hip width apart here as well. Let's take the hands down onto the mat beside the feet. Good. So we're just going to lift the hips up first of all. We're not going to lift very high, maybe just a couple of centimeters off the ground. Just rotating the pelvis up so that we're really tucking the tailbone in. Good. Just holding it here. And then exhale, slowly release down. You might feel that you didn't do much there at all. And that's just to sort of warm us up to the motion that we're going to be doing. So we're going to do that again, but we're going to lift a little bit higher. So inhale, lift a little bit higher. Engage the glutes. You might feel that the quads are stretching a little bit here as well. And holding it here. You might also notice that the pelvic floor is working. You can do a little bit of pelvic floor work here as well, lifting the pelvic floor. Squeeze the muscles here and exhale, gently release down all the way to the ground. Relax everything here. Okay, let's do that again, lifting up even higher this time. If you feel that it's a little bit much on the back, you can bring your hands underneath the back for a supported bridge, just keeping the elbows in nice and tight to the body, keeping the knees hip width apart, feet facing forwards. If this is too much, going back to where we were last time, holding it here. Taking some deep breaths. Keep squeezing those glute muscles. We'll take one more deep breath. Gently release the hands and lower all the way down to the ground. We can just come into windscreen wiper legs, moving the knees over side to side. Gently massaging the lower back and the glutes a little bit here. Good. Okay, so we're going to come into full bridge this time. If you needed the support on your back, then come into that supported bridge. But if you can go without, what we're going to do, instead of having the hands on the ground, we're going to interlock the hands underneath the body. Okay, so we're going to take a big breath in first. And then exhale, lift the glutes up. See if you can interlock the hands underneath the body. You might just need to shuffle the shoulders a little bit here so that you can squeeze the shoulder blades together. And we're going to lift the glutes. You might notice the hips stretching here. There's the quad muscle stretching. Keeping the knees nice and tight, hip width apart. Couple more breaths. And gently and slowly release down to the mat. So it's a really nice back bend there. Also working our glutes, our quads. Okay, let's hug the knees into the chest. And we're just going to rock side to side. Keep the head relaxed down on the mat. Good. Let's take a little happy baby pose while we're here. Opening the knees, taking the hands on the outside edges of the feet and lifting the feet up to the sky. Again, taking some gentle rocks here if that's nice for you. Couple more breaths, just relaxing the facial features, the jaw. Good. Okay. So this next position, just releasing the feet down, feet on the ground. There's two options here. Now you can either come back into that bridge pose, or if you want to take it a step further and join me into shoulder stand, then you can. So just doing whatever feels good for you. If you want to just do your own thing, if you don't fancy doing either of those right now, then feel free to do that as well. So for the shoulder stand, we're going to set up in a similar way. So bringing the feet close to the bum. I know we've done this a couple of times in my classes before, so just see how you go. So for this, we need to create a little bit of momentum to get the legs in the air. And we're going to be doing the same thing with that supported bridge, having the hands on the lower back. So probably the best thing to do to start is to lift the knees up. You can straighten the legs a little bit here. I like to keep a little bend in the knees to start. Hands pressed down on the ground. And we're just going to lift. Takes a little bit of momentum, core work to come into it. If you feel that you can't do that in one sweep motion, then you might need to really bring the legs up in a nice, fast, swift movement. So feel free to just, I think you're already there. Everyone's there. There we go. I'll be quiet now. Great. Lovely. So with the hands resting on the back, you might need to just shuffle the elbows in. Try to keep the elbows in tight to the body here. Good. Now you can see how you feel straightening the legs. See how you feel. If you feel like it's a little bit out of control, then feel free to keep a bend in the legs. If it's a bit much on the neck with the legs straight, then keep the knees nice and bent. Keep the levers short. Good. Well done, everyone. Looking really, really good. We're going to take 3 breaths here. Good. Let's bend the knees, staying where we are in the body, and then relax the legs. So the knees will want to come down to the body. And if you want to, you can allow the calves to move back behind the head. So we've got the knees down by the ears. And notice the body feels slightly weightless here. Take some deep breaths. If you feel like you can push yourself a little bit more, then you can bring the hands down on the ground and you might be able to straighten the legs behind the head. That might be a bit much at this time of morning for you. Just see if that feels okay. This takes a little bit of hamstring flexibility to be able to reach the feet behind the head. Good. Gently release, and to come out of the pose, we need to do it really nice and slow, no fast movements. So keeping the knees nice and relaxed, and we're going to gently release each vertebrae by vertebrae, just engaging the core to come out really nice and slow. Big sigh out. Good, keeping the knees nice and bent. Let's just take the hands on the knees. Let's just draw some big circles around one way. Good, and then rotating back the other way. Okay, we need to counter that pose now. So for that, we're going to straighten the legs out in front of us, lying down, and we're going to come into fish pose. I'll just shuffle back. So fish pose, we've got the legs out straight. And what we're going to do is look behind you, laying down. And we're going to lift, so start arching the back. Although actually, to be honest, it's probably easier coming onto the forearms first. So let's come onto the forearms. So laying back, come onto the forearms. I personally like to hold on to around my hips, the sacrum area. And we're going to lift the chest. You'll notice a stretch on the shoulders here. And just release the head looking behind. Just completely relax the head. And then slowly coming back down to the mat. Good. Just release everything down. Okay, let's come into a little side twist here. So arms out by the side, either in a T shape or cactus arms. Let's bend the knees. Let's cross one leg over the other. I'm going to start by crossing my left leg over the right. And if you want to, taking the extra little bind with the left foot around the right ankle. No worries if you can't do that yet. Send the hips over to the left a little bit and then drop the knees down to the right. Look over the left shoulder. Relax everything down here, keeping the left shoulder down on the mat. Good, gently back to the center, release the head to neutral position. Feet down on the mat, just straighten the body up here. Now we're going to cross the right leg over the left. Take the extra bind around the ankle as well. We're going to take the hips over to the right slightly and then drop the knees down to the left. Looking over the right shoulder. Good, and gently back to the center. Uncross the legs. Good. Okay, we're going to come into some little swings back and forward here. So we're going to lift the feet up and then gently come into sitting up. Gently leaning back, swinging backwards and forwards here. It's very, very unlikely you'll do a backwards roly-poly. We're going to do this a couple more times. It's a nice way to engage the the core muscles. Good. And then we kind of come to seated. Run out of room here. My mat always walks. There we go. Okay, so let's come to a cross-legged position. And we're just going to come into a little forward fold here. So we're going to just take the arms out in front. If this is too much on the ankles, feel free to come into a butterfly position instead. Just relaxing the head fully, just releasing any tension on the neck. And just open the mouth a little bit here, just notice that the jaw releases. And slowly come back up all the way to seated. Let's cross the legs over the other way, the more uncomfortable way. And we'll do the same thing again. So just moving the arms forward, coming down on the forearms, relaxing the head. Release the jaw. Good, and we'll slowly come back up. And we're going to move into Shavasana now. So stretching the legs out in front. If you've got any oil here you want to use, then feel free to use a couple of drops of oil just to ease you into Shavasana. So laying back down on the mat. If you haven't got any oils, you can either rest the hands onto the tummy or off the mat, palms facing up. So if you have got any oils, just taking in that aroma, noticing any scents you can recognize, and just noticing what that does to the mind and the mood. Okay, just noticing how you feel. Noticing how the body feels after our practice, any areas that you can feel you've particularly stretched or opened. We can start taking some deep breaths to settle in here. Giving yourself permission to rest. Relax in the mind, relax in the body. Just enjoying this stillness of the body, the mind. Nowhere to be but here, right now. Good, okay, we can begin to wake up the body, taking some deeper mindful breaths. Noticing the body wake up, mind begin to awaken. You can begin stretching through the arms and legs. Maybe taking the arms up above the head. If you did use any oil, just returning to that for a few breaths, taking that in again. Good. Okay, we can gently come back up by rolling onto one side first of all, using the arm as a pillow. And then slowly using your hands to bring you back upright. Just to a cross-legged position. Resting the hands down on the knees for a moment. Let's just enjoy this moment of seated, calm in the body. Notice your connection with the earth through any points of contact you have. around the ankles, sides of the legs, the glutes. Good. Keeping the eyes closed, we're going to come into a nice big sun arm. So taking the hands by the side of the body, shoulders back. Inhale, open the arms out to the side and up above the head, palms meet. Looking up to the sky. And then exhale, bringing the hands through the center line of the body down to the heart. Gently bowing down to each other. Namaste.